Hi guys, welcome back to Marant's Rants. Funny, good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. I want to know about AMC. I want to know about Aron. I want to know about his connection with distressed credit investors. I've told you this from the start. I look at Silver Lake, they put people on the board. I looked at Mudrick and they went ahead and always got shares whenever it counted. And right now you're seeing Antera pocket money well. So I'm following the money. I'm trying to figure this part out, but I want you to know how Aron, how did these guys, or how were they able to get this sweetheart deal at 66 cents per ape unit? And then in verse, you assure them that they're going to do a vote. We're going to convert those to AMC shares, and we're going to go ahead and do a 10-to-1 reverse stock split, all of which is in favor of whom? The bondholders, the actual shareholders, these guys. But you're going to do some 2-bit interview with some investor and be like, oh, I did it for you, and I'm doing it because they're attacking us. I feel like you're attacking yourself. And I'm going to show you the proof that I have, because unless Antera is the greatest traders of all time, how did they hit it every which way? So we're going to go ahead and look at it really quick. So this is your press release saying that we're going to go ahead and announce and we're going to raise $110 million of equity in addition to the 91 million ape units that we're going to sell. But that was all priced in at the bottom. How did these guys get the very bottom? How did you price at the very bottom? Because these things don't happen overnight. I know that the stock price hit 65 cents 2 days before you made this announcement, but it takes more than 2 days to put this all together. I don't know who gives you your ideas, but I want you to shed light on it. I want you to finally sit down and tell people how you came about these ideas, and not the failed business ideas that you do, but these ideas of in a 4-month span, you're able to go ahead and expand the float, decrease the float, make a new ape unit, take it away. Now we're going to go ahead and approve dilution, and that's a good thing. Give you the rights to do it at any time you want at your leisure. And everyone out here who said no to your raise and no to the dilution is now saying yes to this. I don't understand it. I don't care. But I want to know how Antera now holds the future of everyone's investment in their hands, because they have the votes, they have the power, and you traded 20% of your company to this bondholder. And who's okay with that? Is Apollo okay with the way you run yourself? And I'm asking only because I know your track history, and I know that Blackstone is in this group. I know Citadel has ties to this. Everyone's together, and they're all on one side. It's called distressed credit investors. That's what Mudrick is. That's why Mudrick holds the hand of AMC investors, telling them, you need to go buy HYMC. You need to invest money here, AMC, because this is what I want you to do with this money. And the same thing with Antera. Antera is going to tell you to do a reverse stock split. Going to tell you to convert back to ape, or back to AMC from ape. So we're going to go look at it together, because I want to know how something like this can happen, how Antera knows to sell all of their stuff right before the split. They sell all their puts, right? They even sell their calls. And I looked at it from every standpoint. I went here and I saw, okay, so here's AMC puts and calls, and this is on quarter, I want to make sure I have it right. Okay, quarter 2. So this happened. They sold out of them. They sold everything they owned, sold. And why did they sell? Because they knew what was coming. They're giving the heads up. Is this insider trading? I'm asking. This is quarter 1, I believe. Quarter 1 of this year, where they opened up the positions. Now, anyone who's a bondholder has to hedge themselves, right? So they loan you money, and the idea that you can't make the payments on the bond, they buy puts to offset their position. And of course, this is what happens. They bought puts in the realm of 1.9 million is the put. So they're hedging already that position. But in addition to that, by buying a put, the underlying asset is being stressed. The AMC share is being stressed. It's being pushed down all the way down to the ground, because it's the influence of it all. That's the difference between derivatives and the stock themselves. But it's okay. We know how the pressure is applied, and this is why Antera is allowed to do this, because groups like Antera, groups like Blackstone, groups like Apollo, Mudrick, they infiltrate these institutions. They infiltrate this business. And I'm talking about across the board. HYMC, who was the board of directors for HYMC before Dr. Diane Garrett? Mudrick. It was Mudrick Plants. The same thing right now with Silver Lake being on the board with AMC. And then, of course, Wanda was there. And now you're going to have this investment here where you think Antera is getting all this, 20% of this company. They're getting 20% of AMC for $300 million. Like, that's crazy. That's beyond, I know, is it 200 or 300? Because it's $200 million cash worth, and then it's like they're going to take away another $100 million versus equity on the debt that's owed. Guys, we're talking about $5 billion in debt, and we're dealing with hundreds of millions. That's it. We're not dealing with billions, because you can't do that anymore. They already had the bad deals made. So as I look at this, and I just want you guys to know, this is going to be 2020. Q4 2020. This is when Antera Credit, here, these guys, Capital, had puts and shares on AMC, and they sold them all. They sold them all at these times before a run-up. They sell the puts before the run-up, and it's crazy. How do they know? How do they know the timing of the run-ups? How is it, Adam, Aron? How is it that all your bondholders know when to buy and sell? Do they get the heads up, and do they pump it themselves? Because when I look at Antera, I look at this guy called He-Man Shu. He-Man Shu. I don't even know how to pronounce this name, but He-Man Shu is the co-chairman of this group, which is called Slam Corp. And he's in there with Alex Rodriguez. Why do I say that? Alex Rodriguez. How is Antera tied with Alex Rodriguez? Well, they are. And He-Man Shu is this guy who has a history with the Man Group, where they are the head of U.S. distressed credit and special situations. Why is it that every person that owns AMC shares on the hedge fund side are distressed credit investors? It's all the same types of investment groups. They're called shorters, guys. That's just another word for shorters. They get into the board, they give recommendations, they buy the shares, and then they hurt the company from within so that their investment goes up. They get their money on the front and the back. It doesn't matter to them, but you think you're saving a company to survive. Well, let's go look at Aron. What are his ties to Ken Griffin? He bought Ken Griffin's house. Do you remember that part? And now he's paired up here, and Antera's there too. So I go to Antera and I go look up this guy, and I see everything he's been a part of. And then you see how Antera got started. They got started because they had some money from Blackstone Group. Blackstone Group is the one who actually gave them the funding. So as you go through and you look at who's Blackstone, well, Blackstone is the same people that are in talks with Ken Griffin and buying a stake of Citadel Security. Citadel's never sold off a portion of their hedge fund until this year. Why did they start selling off positions of their hedge fund? Why? Are they in trouble just as much? But if all these guys are banded together, Blackstone, Apollo, how does Apollo get there? Well, Adam Aron, right? And then you know this part. I know you guys know this part, where Blackstone and Apollo face Justice Department probe on influence over the boards. Yeah, that's true too. And that just came out last month or 2 months ago. So everyone's under investigation for insider trading. Everyone's under investigation for all these things. But Adam Aron's doing business with these guys. So don't give me the positives on like what these people try to spin at you, because I remember when they were telling me, Ape's coming out and it's gonna expose synthetics. It does nothing of that. I don't care about the FTDs that didn't settle the first day because they were settled by 2 weeks. And now no one's forced to cover. And if you think they are forced to cover, well, then we'll go ahead and just play this back for you. I'll go and I'll load this up for you guys right here. Is it here? I want you to hear this. Okay? Because everybody claims they know.
Each DRS is a bigger percentage of the float.
Yep. This guy reads real slow, so I apologize. But this is your AMC Bigums telling you right now. Here you go.
Yes, and that is the other thing. I want people to understand something quick. That is what I was getting into when I got all fucking high. The shorts. And the difference. Okay. Here's the common misconception. Shorts have to cover it. And I was wrong about this because I didn't think about it. Okay? When you had AMC and Ape made and a new cusp ID, what they ended up doing is the shorts. If you had 100 shorts on AMC, you now had 100 on AMC and you had 100 on Ape. Well, what they're going to end up doing now on this conversion is they're going to take the short positions on this and they'll take the short positions over here. When you do the reverse split now, you'll have a new cusp ID. They're now going to have these short positions created under the new one. So they'll now have the short positions under this cusp ID. Okay? So they don't have to cover because that short position will transfer with the new cusp ID and with the conversion and with the split.
Okay, they don't have to cover. So, Boss Blunts, let's go ahead and go back into the think tank. Let's think about that for a second because you were wrong, just like everyone else, and I told you guys were wrong. Listen to me. They're not even caring about this short. They don't care the fact that it's going to go 10 to 1 the opposite way. Tesla was torn to shreds and the price was sky high. And you think that $60 a share is going to defend you. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with your leverage. You don't have the leverage after they convert back the opposite way. What it does give is Adam Aron enough juice on the table to go ahead and give himself a raise, send out some PSUs and RSUs tenfold. They're going to use this cash that they get right here to hold the books up for covenants on the senior notes. so that they're allowed to still hand out bonuses for the next 2 to 3 years. And they're just going to sit here until 2026 when it is private equity that will sweep up this stock. Now, these guys who hold the bonds till 2026, ding, ding, ding. Why did I say 2026? Because that's when $3.3 billion is due. And Terra Credit Capital is part of that. You guys have to know what's happening here. He is selling it out right now. 20% of his company for 66 cents a share. And then when you tenfold that back, think about what everyone else paid for their shares. And I'm not talking about you, the investor. I'm talking about the actual hedge funds. I'm talking about Mudrick. I'm talking about Silver Lake. I'm talking about anyone who still holds shares in this company. They paid crazy amounts of money, and yet you just sold it off for I don't even know how much, 66 cents? That's crazy. But you tell me, Adam, you tell me how this makes sense to an actual investor and how it's benefiting investors. You can paint popcorn, you can paint credit cards, you can do merch, you can do it all. None of it's going to make you money, because if that was all going to make you money, you don't do this deal. You sit back and you sit on, this Avatar money coming in, Wakanda money coming in, supposedly, and that's what's going to make you, a profit. But your business does not make a profit. It is run through offerings, and it's leveraged. You're actually leveraging out all of your ownership so that you can ride off into the sunset because you already made money. A lot of these guys who work for these companies, guys, I'm talking about officers, CEOs, CFOs, everybody, they're just employees. They don't care about you. No, their job is to survive, make themselves a paycheck, and get the hell out. They don't care like you do. You might like the movies forever. Guys, shocker, AMC is going to be in business forever, another 100 years. Doesn't mean that it's profitable. Doesn't mean that it's going to make you a profit. Just means the brand and the logo are going to be there, but someone else will own it. Someone else will own these for pennies on the dollar. And if you invested your life savings because you followed YouTubers, right? You followed Reddit guys and everyone else. And this is why I'm upset. I'm upset because I make these videos and do this homework. And I'm like, man, they're lying to them again and again and again. Hey, I was right 2 years ago. I was right last year. I was right 4 months ago. And I'm right today. Okay. And I don't want to be right. But I'm telling you, if you want to listen to a YouTuber, go listen to them. I'm a YouTuber as well. Listen to me. You're going to lose. And you're going to lose bad. Worse than you already have. And probably most of you already lost 80 to 90% of your investment. But then on the flip side of that, it's going to affect your family, your personal life, and everything else because you've allowed it to get this deep. It's not over, guys. It's not the end of the road. It's okay. You can recover, but it's not going to be on this investment. Stop listening to guys like Boss Blunts. They're playing with your money. They're making money off of you, and then that's what they're investing. AMC Bigums doesn't understand, or maybe he does finally, and he announces it this way, but he doesn't understand that his flawed point is there are no fundamentals behind this. And so now they took it from it's a short squeeze to now it's a fundamental play, and we're going to pay off the billions and billions of debt. No one wants to buy this company's debt. When it was $3 a share, $2 a share, they bought it at 66 cents a share, and Aron sold it at that much. Please know the difference, guys. There's a difference from raising capital during hard times and surviving than cash burning, making sweetheart deals behind your back, and doing what Apollo does, Blackstone, Mudrick, now Antera, and of course, Aron. He's not on your side. That's what I see. Is it insider trading? I don't know. Gary Gensler, go figure it out. Do a probe. Somebody make some noise. Can't just be me and a mic and a camera. But nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to be the bad guy in the crowd. I'll do it. It's fine. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of you. Any of you other people out there that want to push the ban button on Twitter like they have, and of course, come to my videos and say that I'm a shill. I'm not a shill. I do the homework like you. The only difference is I do it with my eyes open. Peace. Oh, Merry Christmas. Cowboys won.